And to get a sense of what happened today in that match on day one, we are joined by Gautam Bhattacharya, senior sports journalist, and Rajiv Seth, a former cricketer. Gautam Bhattacharya, let me start by asking you, did Rohit Sharma miss a trick by not playing Ashwin?
I think we'll have to get beyond this thing of, to be or not to be with Ashwin. I mean, this is the same thing which happened during the last WTC final against New Zealand. India had gone in with two spinners, and finally, when the rain-affected match was dragged on till the reserve day, it was felt that additional pacer would have come in handy. But yes, there is a definite case that with as many as 5 left-handers in the team, whether if there was one spinner who's being played, whether it got to be Ashwin instead of Ravindra Jadeja. And the other thing is, did the seamers do their job? I think, as we go on, Rajiv will answer the question.
Rajiv Seth, there is a sense that this is possibly not the strongest bowling lineup that India has fielded in this match. In that case, is it fair to say that instead of a pacer, an Ashwin would have been a better fit here?
Well, Osama, looking at the conditions that we started the game, you would always imagine that you would go with the seam bowler, and that to English conditions. But I would say, the trick has been missed, because look at the lineup of Australia. They have more left-handers than we can count.
Yep.
So it's important for us to play an off-spinner and have that advantage more than whatever stats Ashwin may carry. And on the other hand, they have Nathan Lyon, who's going to come hard on our batsmen too. So having said that, no, once the day progresses, things changes. One can always say, did Umesh Yadav actually did what he was supposed to do? Why Shardul Thakur only? So things would change dramatically, and that's what English conditions are all about. I would only say that yes, Ashwin did, would have really counted. Well, he would have made the difference had he been in the lineup.
You mentioned the conditions. I also want to get a sense of how the pitch has behaved. What is your assessment of the pitch, Rajiv Seth? And is it fair to say that the bowlers tried? They did try to bowl at the right length, but what is your assessment of the pitch? And did Australia, the batsmen, they played better?
See, so far the pitch is concerned, I would say it's actually, it had shown you two different colors to what we saw at the start to what it was post-lunch or close to the lunch thereon. And that's what typical English conditions are. And mind you, they're no longer English wickets anymore. English summers are as good as Indian summers. So wickets have become docile, be it Oval, be it Lords, be it wherever, in England. But having said that, yes, we did have an advantage of the first session, and we did capitalize on the early 2-3 wickets. But thereafter, this is where a slow bowler would have probably, done the trick, because in the sense that it would have slowed down the process, it would have given you more options. And going by the way the day progressed, look at the third session. We ended up giving 157 runs.
Yep.
And, they were just milking our bowling, basically. It was just a matter of batsmen making a mistake.
Well, the batsman did not make a mistake, especially Travis Head. Gautam Bhattacharya, what a brilliant century by Travis Head. Did his approach, in a way, unsettle the Indian pacers?
Yes, it did. But having said that, he also had to weather the early storm. And then the most beneficial session for them was the last one, where, shoulders were dropping. It was very clear that coming out of a situation where they were bowling, a quota of 4 overs in the IPL, 16, 17, 18 overs per bowler.
Yep.
So that was too much of it. And, for somebody you really felt sorry was Umesh Yadav, because Umesh, even during the IPL, I think there's a handpicked number of matches, very few number of matches that he got a look in. And that's not really the build-up to a WTC final you can do with. So that's one really, that's a worrying part about, how soon they can get a grip, the bowlers can get a grip of the match come tomorrow.
Absolutely. And I also want to talk about Steve Smith. He looked very assured today. Rajiv said, would he have had a sigh of relief in a way not seeing Ashwin in the playing 11 today?
Well, the whole Australian team had a sigh of relief in some sense. And this is a happy hunting ground for Smith. I mean, look at his averages at Oval. I mean, it's like playing in the backyard.
Yeah.
So, you have to go with the stats. You have to go with the confidence of the player on certain venues, and that they do count. But having said that, you still got to play your innings. You still have to go through the attack. And I think you got to give it to Steve Smith that he is one of those legends in the game, that he grafts his innings like anybody's business. I think he did try the patience of the bowlers in comparison to how Head played. Head almost played a runner ball kind of innings. On the other hand, Smith was taking his own time, probably 200 odd balls to get his 95. So this is the kind of blend, this is the kind of mixture that you get to see from a class side like Australia. There's nothing lost. India has to bat. But having said that, whether the advantage is with X or Y is what is the question.
Absolutely. And there was also something very peculiar and particular about Steve Smith's use of crease in this particular match. Gautam Bhattacharya, he stayed back for the most part of his innings. You feel that that was a part of the plan, something that India can take note of?
Yes, I mean, he was playing late, and at the same time, it was, a classical Steve Smith innings. I mean, this is what shows that why he is such a danger in the test matches that he is. And with the fact that, as Rajiv said, that there was a slightly, I'll not say dual pace as it is, maybe we'll see as the match goes on. But some deliveries, they were not carrying properly to the keeper or to the first slip. So, that's the discipline which, Steve Smith had shown and neutralized the Indian bowlers.
I also want to go back to talking about the Indian bowling. Gautam Bhattacharya, do you feel, though that is not this is not India's best bowling attack, the lack of quality has shown itself here?
More than the lack of quality, I would say, I mean, there were phases where they won their little battles. But what happened was, there was a kind of sameness about the attack. You see, I mean, you are actually carrying an experienced left-arm seamer there in Jaydev Unadkat with the team.
Yeah.
But it's obvious that the team management does not have enough confidence in him to get him to play in a WTC final. But a left-arm seamer would have just added that X factor there.
Yeah, absolutely. And at 327 for 3 at the end of day one, Rajiv said, do you feel we are staring at a scenario where there is a likely winner and it is more likely to be Australia than India?
Well, it's too early to say that, Osama, but I would say that the advantage is with Australia to start with. If they put up almost close to 600 odd, you win half the battle in terms of psychological. But as I said, that the wickets are docile these days in England, and we have a tremendous batting lineup also. And both the teams bat actually deep down. So, there is a good contest on cards, but we have to see how the bowlers fare up fresh in the morning, because the new ball has just been taken. It would be hard. And if we have some good conditions, English conditions in the morning, there could be an advantage factor. But we have to get the couple of, quick couple of wickets to get back to the game before it slips off.
Gautam Bhattacharya, one final word from you. What do you expect from the Indian bowlers tomorrow in the first session? Because we started well. We lost the track in the second and we were completely taken over by the magnificent batting of Travis Head and Steve Smith. What do you expect them to do early in the morning tomorrow?
The conditions will have a lot of say in how the Indian baseball, how effective they will come back as tomorrow. I mean, given the kind of conditions that they enjoyed in the first session today, it would be a different story, who knows. But Australia has done the initial hard work and they are in the driver's seat. So the Indian bowlers, it will take something special from them. It is not impossible. It can always happen from a Shami or an inspired Siraj. who look the most energetic right through.
Right.
And then the tables can be turned. Who knows?
Right. Well, like you said, nothing is impossible, and it's just the end of day one. Australia have ended the day at 327 for 3. 4 more days, and we'll get to know who gets to pick that coveted mace. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of the show.